Going live. We are live. Okay. Hi, guys, and you're welcome to this episode of the Contrast Podcast. So, this is an episode which, like, you guys have really laid the foundation for us. You guys have really given us what to talk about. So, we are basically just going to be treading the lines you guys have already created. So, we all know the bill which was passed, and a lot of people are talking about it, and there are people who have come up and said, like, all the social media influencers, you guys are always talking, all the fans trolling artists, it's time for you to troll the government and all that stuff. Yeah. So we are here to do just that. We are here to play our own role. Either we are trolling the government or we are making our voice heard. But hopefully you guys will join us. Let all of us make our voice heard. So
Yeah,
Dilby, what's up?
I'm good. I'm good. I heard some of the replies you guys or your opinions you had to say on the topic. I heard it on
Mm,
the group. You guys have valid points,
mm,
and I would like everybody to hear what everybody have to say. So, like I said during the voice note, I said I was going to talk with Ita, and we just agreed on something on how to make that heard. Like everybody, like your opinions heard on a wider range, like wide scale,
mm,
concerning any topic, because this one is just one of them. Something
mm,
everybody's passionate about. Because I believe most guys on the group, like in that group, are creators.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of them are creators. So it really, from the interaction and everything said in the group, I realized that I think affected them directly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. So I think as a creator, like everybody talking, I want you guys to put out your opinion too, so we can put it out so everybody can hear it. And yeah, if you have anything else to add, you can add. So let's jump
Mm.
into it. Like the bill, it has the English version of it. So I think we'll be going off what she will be giving. Since like right now she has the double-edged sword. She's the moderator today, and she has the bill. So all the responsibilities of talking, all the
Oh God.
will be. But if I have to talk, I'll talk. But most of the
Yeah.
controlling will be done by her. So yeah.
Okay. So just a moment, let me just pull it up. So I got this from a blog. So I was looking through the internet yesterday. Everything was in French, only the French version. Until I started feeling like, is it that the bill was they just
It
put out the
was
French
passed
version
in
to the
French. I
public?
think this
Ye-
translation thing is something somebody personally translated it. I believe that thing was in French. The main copy is
Okay.
in French.
And
And
I was
that
like,
says a
that's
lot.
absurd.
That says a
Mm-hmm.
lot about everything
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
happening.
Yeah.
you
When I
know?
was seeing just a French version, I was like, just that alone is annoying.
Yeah, it says a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, so luckily I found this copy on Decoded TV. Shout out Decoded TV. So I found this copy of the English version.
Yeah.
So I just want us to look at it because I also do believe that many of us have not read the bill. So a
Yeah.
lot of us are reacting out of other people's reactions.
Reaction.
So we are seeing other people
And by the
reacting and
way,
we're
I'm
just
guilty
reacting
about
to
that.
it.
I'm guilty about that.
Yeah.
That's why I can only reply to things I'm used to. Like when I reply to things like copyright rules and all the rest, those are things I know and things I'm used to.
Mm.
I haven't replied
Mm-hmm.
to like the bill itself. I haven't
Mm.
replied to it.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Teaka. I'm Infam. Hi, welcome. So yeah, so we are ready to talk about all of that,
Yeah.
our reaction to the bill and stuff. So just let us know if you have any reactions. Of course you do. So just drop it in the live chat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Should I read the bill or
Yeah, you
how should we?
yeah, you can read part of it, then we talk about it. We read part of it, and then we talk about it. Maybe that episode will just be us giving our opinion, or if you can read all of it, in
Mm,
yeah, we can just read all of it, and then we talk about it, because most of us haven't read it or
mm.
even seen it. Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to read the bill. I guess that's how we'll go. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me just start from Article 41. The
Mm.
Artistic and Cultural Association and their groups are placed under the supervision of the minister responsible for culture. Two, within the framework of the exercise of the prerogatory provided for in paragraph 1 above, the Minister of Culture ensures compliance by artistic and cultural associations with the laws and regulations in force. He
Mm.
exercises expediency control over the activities of these associations.
You see, that's what we were talking about. Like,
Mhm.
we don't want them to control this thing. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's a fear everybody has. That's a fear everyone
Hmm.
is talking about. Yeah.
Okay. So then it goes on to say, I'm trying to. I just want to take a shot of it because I don't want it to be online.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Okay. Sanction Section 1 Administrative Sanction, Article 42. Without prejudice to civil and criminal sanctions, the Minister of Culture to proceed to the suspension of the approval of any artistic and cultural association for a maximum period of 3 months, renewal once, to the suspension of a grouping for a maximum period of 3 months, renewal tones. Upon renewal of the approval issued to any artistic and cultural association
Yeah.
on the dissolution of a group. Okay, so all associations have been suspended for a 3 months period. I guess that's what they are saying.
Huh. That they'll dissolve all associations like sub associations in the industry.
Ye- yes, that they have been dissolved for a 3 months period.
Okay.
Then that's the new associations will come up only after they have passed all the regulations or whatever. Yeah, but for a 3 months period, all associations have been suspended in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Hi, Juliet. So I just basically read the article
You
so
what's
we know
up?
what the article is about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Article 43. Suspension takes place in particular in the event of one, performance by an artistic and cultural association of activities which deviate from its object. Two, suspension or renewal of the affiliation of the federation or of the grouping of which it is the emanation due to the repeated performance of activities harmful to it or not in accordance with its status. Participation in political demonstration, no participation in political demonstration, acceptance of foreign
Oh,
financing.
oh, oh, I hate that point. I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate it. Yep,
Mm.
they are trying to sanction artists not to sing about things happening in the country.
Yes.
Or they are trying to
Yeah.
make producers or movie makers not to make movies concerning things happening in the country. You see? Yep,
Exactly.
that's what I was talking about. I hate that shit already. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. The next.
you see why I
Yeah.
said the government cannot sponsor movies? Like, don't have any reason to sponsor movies, right? Okay, let me just
Mm,
go on. Just go on.
mm. Okay. The next one, acceptance of foreign financing or real estate donations and legacies in violation of Article 38 above. Public order or public safety. So these are all those ones are grounds for suspension. So you participate in political demonstration, suspension, accepting foreign financing or real estate donation, suspension,
What?
public order or public safety, yeah, suspension, yeah.
You wait. You know what? Okay. I don't know why I'm getting mad and pissed off about this thing.
Yeah, what do you want to
Oh,
say?
okay. Okay. These guys are. You see, that's why I hate when the government wants to do anything about this country because the thing is eating me up. It's
Mm.
fucking annoying.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
It's fucking annoying. And sorry for cursing on Chakara TV, but
Yeah. What
yeah, I'm so annoyed. Yeah.
happened?
But these guys, they just decided to pick an advantage of this clear example of a monopolist, somebody who has seen an advantage, like who has seen an opportunity of something which everybody or he was neglecting. He has
Mm.
seen an opportunity for that thing to become something bigger than what it's supposed to be. Then he wants to
Yeah.
sink his claws in them, like, and put rules behind it. He wants to put a cage behind it. It's just like going to the bush and you see a tree, a mango tree, and you put medicine on it and prevents
Mm-hmm.
people from coming to that mango tree to harvest mangoes to eat.
Mm.
This is exactly what they want to do. They have just seen that the industry is booming up to become something really big, and they want to put rules that favor them around that industry to make sure everything
Mm-hmm.
that comes from that industry is being controlled by them. Like the CDC, like everything else in Cameroon, like NAO, like CDC, like brasseries, like every fucking thing, like public service. Everything in Cameroon, they want to control the entertainment industry the same way they have been controlling everything in Cameroon. And that's why the bill
Mm-hmm.
was even passed out in French. That's they are just simply proving the point of some guys who just want to give the country the benefit of the doubt. They're just simply trying to make it blatantly clear that these guys don't have the interest of anybody at heart. They just have their own interest at heart. Because
Mm-hmm.
some of us who just want to say, okay, we want peace, we just want this thing to move forward like a peaceful country, like let's just make this thing like the way Cameroon was. Cameroon is just like the same way America is saying they want to make America great again, when America has never been great before. Because the great that they are talking about may be the great when the white people were suppressing the minorities like the blacks as slaves. So if it almost relates to this thing, like the government is trying to monopolize an industry which is free. Art is supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
free. Art is a domain that nobody needs to control. Nobody has the right over. But the government,
Mm-hmm.
this bill has proven that these guys want to control the industry. These guys want. These guys have seen something that can generate so much revenue that they want to be. They want to be the guys calling the shot. They want to determine who comes in, who goes out, who puts money in, where the money goes to. And that's not how art is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like everything else in Cameroon. Sonara, boom. Brasseries, boom. Taxes. Everything in Cameroon. That's just how. Just listening to this bill, I just made me really upset. It's just like when we are trying to put a blind eye and just say, okay, maybe some of us are overreacting, but these guys are just proving to us that they don't even know how to hide it.
Mm.
It's just like they are doing something wrong, knowing that nobody can do anything about it. So they are not
Mm-hmm.
even hiding it. This bill just simply proved that. I know. I think it's so frustrating.
I like that you heard yourself back from cursing. Nice. Hello, Ezra. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's true. It's frustrating. But let me just finish. Let me just finish before I express my mind or what I
Yeah.
have to say
Go
about
on.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you see? Now let me just clown on this shit. You see, they want to blacklist Eta. They want to silence her from talking. You see, maybe they have taken her electricity or internet. No, this is just a conspiracy theory right now. I'm just clowning on the whole shit. But man, this thing is bad. You see, Eta is supposed to be reading this thing right now, and her stuff has just frozen. This thing is so annoying. So annoying. Is it her writing me right now? No, not her. Boy. Cameroon, 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 Cameroon. Okay, let me read what you guys have been saying. Like, is it right comedy? Is it right saying? Let me just be reading it. Let's just be chatting while we get Eta back. Okay? Okay, she's coming back, I think. Okay, she's back.
Yeah. Sorry, my internet's unstable.
You see, I
I'm
was
back.
just saying it. I just said these guys, Eta is reading this thing. We are exposing them. They are trying to blacklist it. Conspiracy theories, like,
Right. It's a government. It's a
yeah, the
man.
government. There's somebody in here that is working with the man. They're trying to shut it off.
Crazy.
It's somebody here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next part, right, it says the suspension shall be lifted in the same form and procedure as soon as the causes that led to it are ended. So as soon as you stop making the political statement, as soon as you
Black is
stop
zero
correcting the
comedy.
foreign finances, the suspended ended. The suspension ended.
Yeah. That's as what?
As soon as you stop making the political statement, or as soon as you stop collecting the foreign finances, the suspension is ended. Yeah, that's what it said. It said
That
suspension
whole thing is shit.
shall be
No.
lifted in the same form and procedure as soon as the causes that led to it are ended. So yeah. Article 22. The organization and functioning of the
Oh,
Federation of Artistic and Cultural Associations
yeah.
obey the provision of the standard statutes made enforceable by the order of the minister responsible for culture. Yeah. 23. The leaders of Federation of Artistic and Cultural Associations are subject to the system of incompatibility provided for in Article 36 below. Okay. The function of leaders of a federation and that of leaders of a company, of a union, or a guild belonging to this federation are incompatible. Okay, whatever that means. What am I?
Fuck is hitting this shit upstairs.
Some noise is coming from upstairs.
Yeah, I think there's a kid up there hitting some shit. Like kids playing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Article 24. In each sector of art or culture, only one federation receives authorization from the minister responsible for culture to organize. So this is one thing which many people are bubbling about. So it's in compliance with the laws and regulations in force, cultural activities with a view to supervising the artistic and cultural associations which have been brought to it. 35, 25. Each federation must inform the minister responsible for culture of the holding of cultural events of national or international scope, as well as the method of their organization. So basically, before you have a concert, anything of that sort, the minister needs to be aware and how you are organizing it. All that they
What part
need to
of
be
the world
aware.
have you seen this thing happen? Listen, this guy, when you guys are listening to her read this thing, just think about where in the world have you seen this kind of thing happen?
It's crazy.
Because I want to reply Ezra right now. Ezra said, what if the government is trying to recognize artists or creators and trying to give them their dues, what they rightly need, and promote them how it is supposed to be done a long time ago? Listen, Ezra, um, the government the government rule, okay, the Ministry of Culture's rule is to regulate, okay, and promote things that have to do with the culture. Is to regulate. Their rule is not to prevent or safeguard or guide or determine the rules of what can be created
Mm,
or determine where they get their funds from or determine who invests in the industry and who doesn't invest in the industry. It not
mm,
like not in the industry but on a project. Who can invest on a
mm-hmm,
project and who doesn't invest on a project. That's not their rule. Even everything they are reading right now, the government, even Nigeria that you guys said they passed a bill that they should not play foreign music. Even Nigeria is not doing what the hell these guys are saying right now.
mm.
It's just somebody trying
Yeah.
to take an advantage. Like he has seen that you guys don't understand the he doesn't we don't understand what we have. We don't know how to handle what we have. It's simply because we have been crying to them a lot that we need their assistance. They have just realized that these guys are so dumb enough that they don't even know what they have and what they can do with it. So let's just give them some rules that will guide them.
Mm,
It's just like smart kids who don't know what to do with the knowledge they have. Their parents will tell them, okay, from now on, you will not watch TV, you go and sleep. Then you wake up today, you read your book, okay? This particular book, you're not supposed to read it now, you read this one now. When they are even supposed to have access to all those books, it's also like a kid who has free time for himself, okay? He
mm,
can read ahead of everybody in class, even a teacher. But it's like a teacher telling him, don't read this topic until I teach it. Don't read this subject
mm,
until I teach it. But the kid is smart enough that he can read all of it. But that teacher is regulating him not to go ahead of the class. Meanwhile, it will put him ahead of, like, make him give him more advantage of succeeding.
mm.
That's exactly what these guys are doing right now. Artists have been crying a lot. It's just because in those days the guys like the pioneers never knew what to do with art. Art was just something like they were talented, yeah, but they never knew what to do with the talent they had. So they kept on crying to these guys that they need you to assist us because it's not their role to assist them. But because they believe that they are the government and they are higher up, everything is supposed to come from the government. That's one thing I hate about Cameroon. Everybody in Cameroon believe the government is supposed to do everything for them. Give you jobs, give you housing, they give you scholarships, they give you everything. That's why you see government throwing concours here and there just to employ their own people. Because you guys have proven to them that independently you guys are not resourceful. You cannot come up with things on your own. That's why when they give you things, it's like letting a dog go and you hold the rope. That dog can move far. Or take the goat to a field and you just tie the goat there, you tie it on a tree. The goat cannot move far. Like you feel like you've given the goat freedom, but you haven't. It's exactly what is happening right now. So, on one hand, I don't blame them for putting these kind of things. I don't blame them for giving this rule. That's what you guys asked for. I'll just say you deserve it. Yeah,
Really?
you deserve it.
Okay. Anyway, hi, Clinton. Welcome. So yeah, so for me, right, like I'm with Azeroy. I'm also trying to look at the positive end of all of this,
I've already seen the
because at the
positive
end of the
end.
day,
There's just one positive end that they have used that one for guys who are shallow-minded to keep them. Because I've seen the positive end to give Cameroon entertainment as a whole one identity. That's the only positive side of this thing. But the rules they are implementing under that one identity are things not done anywhere in the world. It's just a monopoly now. They want to monopolize the whole thing. The industry they are trying to create, they are trying to monopolize it.
Yeah, but I was also thinking, because for long, right, the entertainment industry has just been working on default. Like there have not been any concrete rules. Like you guys have to do this, you guys have to do this,
There's
right?
no rule in
So
entertainment.
that's what I'm saying. That I'm seeing this like the government trying to put in some rules. That, let me say, for example, in Ghana, right,
Yeah.
if you have curse words on your song, the song doesn't pass on the radio. That's
Exactly.
like a law.
That's why they have
Yeah,
YouTube. That's why they have SoundCloud. That's why they have
exactly.
iTunes.
So
That's why they have all those
I'm
places.
like, yeah, my point is Cameroon is not the first country to establish some rules
Every country
for the
has that.
entertainment sector. Exactly, but before we never really had any concrete rules guiding the entertainment industry. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, even everybody know that when you sing songs with curse words, it cannot go on TV and radio. We all know that everywhere in the world. We know that all those kind of rules are things like even a child knows that. That's why we have other outlets. Okay, but the thing pissing me off, like I said, it's not being done anywhere in the world, is the government telling you for you to produce a movie, if you want to produce a movie, a foreigner cannot sponsor that movie. That is bogus. Like, you're not supposed to do movies that expose the injustice in the country. That's stupid. Or music. That's so stupid. It's like somebody telling you, okay, you want my help? Okay, I'll help you, but you don't have to call me a bad person. Even if I slap you, you don't have to tell anybody that I slapped you just because I'm helping you. That's exactly what is happening right now. And you wanted their help, they are giving you the help with conditions.
Yeah, but the thing that's annoying a lot of people is that they have not yet seen the help. It's better if you at least you give the help, then you say, okay, I'm giving you this 1 million, but then these are the rules, these are the rules. But the help has not yet come, but the rules have been put in place. So all this help we are talking about is just hopeful thinking. It's just like, hopefully they'll give the help, hopefully, but they have not said there's any help coming. Yeah, so that's really the annoying part. I remember Titi Panchak was saying like right now he prefers the minister should keep on doing nothing
Yeah,
than for him to do
exactly.
this. Yeah.
See, in every industry, the Ministry of Culture's job is just to promote any project that was done by the government, by any project that promotes the culture of the country, and documentaries that highlight the important people in the country. The government can sponsor all those kind of things, if they want to, because all those things are produced by private companies and private entertainment firms, But if the government see that they like the information these guys are passing out, they can sponsor it, they can push it. And the Ministry of Culture's job is to regulate the kind of information you're trying to feed the youth, the children coming up. If it is negative and lie, because if it is the truth, you are not supposed to hold that back. But if it is a lie or trying to sway their belief, That's where the Ministry of Culture comes in and say, okay, this thing doesn't represent us. This is not our what represents Cameroon or our culture. That's the job of the Ministry of Culture. The Ministry of Culture job is not to pay you money or tell you, okay, you want to produce this movie, write a movie, a script, come up with a budget, submit it to the Ministry of Culture, and they will provide a budget for you to promote. No, that's not the job of the Ministry of Culture. So Cameroonians and creators and artists have been crying to them for so long. That's why when I see guys talking about the government is not helping artists, I just feel like, but what do you want them to do for you? You're a creator. You're like a private firm. It's like an NGO. Not like an NGO, but it's like a private business. What do you want the government to do with a private business? All the government can do is tell you, the private business owner, to pay your tax and try not to use your business to exploit the citizens of the country. That's all the government has to do when it comes to a private business. But the government has nothing to say, like tell you how to manage your finance, tell you how to like the state can have rules on employees, how to treat your employees, like laws that tell you how to treat your employees, yeah. But how to manage your finance, how to run your business, no. They don't have any right to do that. So I'm just saying, these guys, everybody deserve this. All these guys who have been going on social media, on TV, everywhere, saying the government is not helping artists, you deserve this shit. Yeah,
Really?
you deserve it. Because as far as I'm concerned, this thing don't concern me. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'll keep doing what I'm doing, because I'm not doing anything for Cameroon like like the media, like TV, radio, blah 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 blah. That they'll say they'll blacklist me and all those things. To me, those things don't concern me. So this bill to me is useless. It's invalid. So for these guys who want to dominate, like who think they want to, who believe they need to control the traditional media and route in Cameroon, those are the guys this thing will really affect. And those are the guys who have been going still on this traditional media and complaining how the government have not been helping them. Yeah, so now you ask for it, suck it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ezra Kamadi says they did talk about foreign financing, and we know we have a war in Cameroon. They are kind of trying to avoid war sponsors to pass through artists. They said it will be uplifted after all is settled. Okay. They might have their suspicions. I don't really want to believe it's just to control arts creators. And also, like, let me add to what Ezra is saying. You know, there have been recent explosions in Yaoundé, right? In different like about 3 different neighborhoods in Yaoundé. So the situation in the country is a little bit tense. So I kind of get like what Ezra is saying. It might be trying. They might be trying to suspend these channels which people can use to send in funds in the name of I'm sponsoring this movie, but instead it's for this other purpose. So I feel like they're trying to close all channels which might come in disguise of either is the arts, either is this, I want to help this, which might instead be for sponsoring the war. Tigress J says, let them fix the nation and stop punishing us for expressing our pain. We can be standing on fire and they expect us to smile.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
What is happening right now is they are paranoid. Okay? It's just like how the whites in America are in the world. They are paranoid. When they see blacks, they are afraid. Do you know why they are afraid? Because they know what they have
The
done.
slavery pass.
They know what they have done, and they are just afraid that these guys may retaliate one day. But we are cool. We don't want to retaliate. But we are cool. But every time they see
Speak for
us,
yourself.
they are still always afraid. No, not like I'm speaking for myself. They think the reason I'm saying we are cool is because if we had to react or retaliate, we would have done that a long time ago. It's just that we just want. Black people are the most forgiving people in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know that for a fact.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Anyway,
when they see us, they just believe if not the people they be do this thing for we, so let's go for do them. That's what is in their heart. So they just believe that's what may happen. That's why you see them being too harsh on blacks. That's why you see them reacting first, just because to prevent them from reacting when they don't even have an intention to react. That's why you see they are always like walking on eggshells. That's why you see all this reaction. That's exactly the same thing happening with the government right now. They are reacting to a situation the cost. They are reacting because of guilt. They are paranoid right now. They are just believe. They are just like these guys who fight back through this means. These guys who fight back through this means. It's just like when you look for trouble to so many guys and you stand in the room where those guys are in, you always be on your toes. You'll be like, okay, now who go slap me for this side of the time? Okay, who is coming to punch me this way? That just you always be on your toes. You always be scared. That's why every action they take now revolves around that fear.
Yeah.
So they don't have to punish artists. Like everything they are doing right now is crippling the industry. It's not helping the industry.
But if I may ask, like, how is it crippling the industry?
It's crippling the
Like,
industry in the sense that okay,
yeah.
what if you want to produce a movie and the budget for that movie maybe $250,000? Who the government will not give you that money? That's a fact.
Mm.
But if you have a marketer abroad who thinks he can market that movie on Netflix and he wants to sponsor the movie because of the creators he has on it and the skill, the talent he has on it, he saw that okay, those guys can produce a product that I can sell to Netflix for $500,000 or $1,000,000. Like he will sponsor it from abroad. But just that fact that they have prevented somebody from sponsoring it from abroad has killed that project.
But for me, I feel like your example, it's more of like an imaginary problem because first of all,
It's not
we don't have
imaginary.
movies. I'm like first of all, right?
Yeah.
We don't have movies which will get to that level first. We don't yet have that. So it's not a present situation. I'm like, how is it going to impact our present entertainment industry? There's no movies that somebody is
No, do you
producing for
think
250 something right
no,
now.
no. Do you think most of these shows in Cameroon, the people who pay for the shows live just in Cameroon? Do you think most of these guys who sign artists in Cameroon, they make their money just in Cameroon? It comes just from Cameroon.
No.
So, don't you think that is affecting the whole record or music structure in Cameroon?
Okay, for example, like TC Panchak, right? Blue Nations, the boss of Blue Nation is not based here. I don't think it's going to affect TC Panchak from shooting his next music video. I don't think that will influence TC Panchak from getting the money he needs to shoot his next music video.
But it's coming
Or do
from
you think it
abroad.
will?
It's coming
Yeah,
from
but do
abroad.
you? I'm like, but do you think TC Panchak will be influenced by that? He will not be able to have money from is it Marvin Slim? I've forgotten that guy's name.
Based on
Yeah,
what you've just read, it shows that that is prohibited.
yeah, I'm just
So,
for me, right?
yeah.
Anyway, wait, let me read that point again. Right, if I say something, absence of foreign financing. Marvin Slim, he's not a Cameroonian.
He's a Cameroonian. Okay, okay. If you think foreign financing, okay, what if they use Cameroonian? If you said it cannot affect it, what if they still use Cameroonian like those guys you said they want to sponsor wars? What if they use Cameroonians now and still sponsor it? There's no point. That thing is just trying to prevent money from coming from abroad, whether you're a Cameroonian or not.
Yeah,
So, like I said,
and
it will be illegal for him to take money from Slim.
okay. Anyway,
So
I just
if
like
you want to be paranoid, if you want to act with paranoia, you act all the way around. You don't have to act one way. Like say, okay, I don't want a white man or somebody from another nationality to send money to sponsor. No, it doesn't work like that. They can still give the money to a Cameroonian to send it to Cameroon. If they want to
yeah.
actually sponsor something like a riot or a war. So they are just preventing money from coming into the country, even if it is a Cameroonian or not. Hmm.
Yeah, anyway, for me, right, I'm looking at it in the sense of it's true. Like, I'm not in any way saying like the laws, I mean, I'm d'accord with them. Definitely not. But I'm just saying we need to find a way to exist with the laws. We need to find a way as entertainers, we need to find a way to exist with it. We need to find like a loophole, if I may use that word. Right now in my mind, I don't yet have the loophole, but I'm thinking first of all, it starts by us not seeing like not having a totally negative mindset about it, looking at the bright side. For me, that's what I think. Yeah, and also I'm trying to while you're talking, I was trying to look at something which I saw on, I think it was on Facebook. This guy made a point. Okay, yeah. So this guy, I saw this thing on Facebook, right? He says, "Oh yes, it's like the bill passed by the ministry will rather create drastic change in local and home production." He says, one, DJs will stop playing foreign music in our bars, clubs, and
Yeah.
ceremonies. Two, promoters will concentrate more on home artists rather than importing foreign artists for their events, which
Yep.
that's one thing the law will also cause.
Hmm.
Consequently, artists should be united and come with a fixed budget to be paid when called up to an event. And for
Yep.
me, that's something that
Yeah,
artists have
that's
been crying for. So,
yeah.
and
At
this
least
bill
they'll
might
say
instead lead to that.
yeah, yeah, and that one also is great. I like the guy's points, but from what you've read, I've
Mm,
not seen any how that or what you've read will lead to that.
mm,
So what he's just simply saying is that okay, since they have said they don't want foreign sponsors and they don't want they'll dissolve so many groups and make one group, and if you want to organize a concert or a show, you have to go through
mm.
the government and all that. I haven't seen how all those things will lead to preventing companies like big multinational companies to bring artists from abroad. I don't see how that will cause artists to have a fixed wage for a show depending on the level of hit songs you have or your level or whether you're A-list or B-list. All those things. What he's
He's,
just simply saying
yeah,
is he believes with this rule, okay,
yeah.
it will make maybe it will make artists or DJs to think towards that direction.
Mm.
But there's nothing in it that justify that thing can actually make them think like that. That is just simply inhibiting the production part of it. If you read all that thing, it's just influencing the production part, like from creating the art in general.
Mm.
So what you're just saying is something they can still sit together by themselves and come up with, because this rule doesn't emphasize all those things like that thing they have just published, that the Ministry of Culture have published. So
Mm.
yeah. So what that guy is saying, yeah, he has valid points in them, but I don't see how those points have anything to do with what with this bill passed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I'm seeing it like this. You know, they say you form bonds. The toughest bonds are formed when you're going through tough times, right? So like I see artists, if they see that this is a challenge that we need to come together and work towards it, that's first a step for uniting the industry. Secondly, it's true you might say, okay, the organizations they are canceling, trying to unite the industry, it might just be a shallow thing which they are trying to say, okay, we're uniting the industry, and it might look like a bright side when it's not instead. But I feel like it's one thing which is also making our industry be at where it is right now. For example, just in Boya alone, we had Cameroon film industry, we had Hollywood, we had like there's so many only industries, Cameroon film industries, different names in Boya alone, not to talk of in other places of Cameroon, yeah, in other regions. So for me, that alone, it's like a plus
Do
if these
you
people just know that, yeah,
you know how Hollywood came to be what it is right now?
there are several fractions like that.
Yeah, and Hollywood was the most successful one, so it swallowed the rest.
Okay.
So that's how, like everything in Boyard, somebody they are trying to work out like one of those industries, the one that will come up with the highest number and best movies who swallow the rest. Like you pull all the actors and creators they want to feature on the movies from that company. That's how it
Mm.
grows up. That's how it wasn't just like the government say, hey, we just want only Hollywood in the USA. Mm-mm. There's so many. Even in the
Mm.
world,
Do
there are so
you,
many artists everywhere in the world who wants to act in Hollywood because they believe Hollywood has the money and the quality and it has the
mm.
exposure. So that's how it
Mm.
is.
Yeah. So do you think on their own, the film industry would have gotten to that point where they say, okay, we'll cancel the rest and have just one successful one? You think it's possible that on their own they would have done
With the
that?
Cameroon, I know right now it would have taken a very long time because they will keep trying to copy from the rest of them. They will not try
Exactly.
to focus on their own identity. And when they copy and try to add what they have, they'll try to create their own name to stand out. So
Mm.
instead, more fractions will be created in Cameroon instead of coming
Exactly. And
together.
I'm
But
like,
among all those fractions, if there's one successful one that keep delivering quality movies that will be accepted in bigger platforms, you see all these artists who run to these smaller groups to act, you see them start deviating and auditioning for the bigger company, the bigger group. That's how the group will
mm.
suck up the rest of them and dissolve them. That's how the rest will die down.
Yeah, it's true. That's one way to look at it. But also what I see in the film industry is when they see, like, for example, cinema, they has created this huge movie.
Mhm.
The other side, they are like, let's create our own big thing. it gives them zeal to, okay, I'll also create my own
The
big
other
thing.
side
Okay, I'll
is,
also create my own big
listen,
thing.
the other side is a group, it's a company, but they are not the creators like the actors. Actors are free agents. They can act anywhere that they can get an opportunity, and anywhere that can pay very well. The only thing an actor can be signed to is a management company, a management agency. They cannot be signed, or if an actor signs to a studio, okay, like Marvel, you can sign to Marvel, but Marvel is a production studio under what? Hollywood. Hollywood is the marketing engine. So you have Marvel, you have Disney, and Disney just bought Marvel. I think, yeah, Disney just bought Marvel. So you have Sony, you have Paramount Pictures, you have Columbia Pictures. All those things are studios. Hollywood is the marketing, is the guy like who has most theaters. He has most like syndication to most theaters. Like your movies will be displayed in more theaters in the USA and more TV stations, and you get paid higher because you'll be exposed to the best studios and all the rest. So Hollywood is that marketing engine that succeeded in drowning out the smaller independent marketing. There are still indie creators in the USA. You know that, right? Yeah, independent movie makers who are not Hollywood, who are not in Hollywood, and they still do well. There are so many of them that like that. But Hollywood is the main one everybody see. And some of those independent guys, they still get hired to Hollywood. For example, like who can I use? Most of these Marvel actors, they come from independent studios. Like these studios find guys who are not really popular, and they take them. Hollywood just take them, find big studios, and put them in it, and give them a character, so that when you blow up, like when Hollywood recognize you, everybody who see you recognize you from the character you played in the Hollywood movie. That's why they call somebody Jack Sparrow. That's not his name. They call this man Zorro. That's not his name. But because they took him from an indie studio, and he played the role of that main character in that major studio that had the marketing and the exposure and the budget, everybody know him as that character. But he has been doing great independent movies that made him appease those guys. So what I'm saying is, there'll always be independent studios, but the one with the biggest exposure budget, the one that will keep delivering the quality and the marketing, will drown out the rest. In every industry, we have that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the Cameroonian film industry is different. They work in cliques. If an actor is acting with this clique,
Even within
it's like,
Hollywood, there are cliques.
I'm like, if an actor, so it's not like a free thing that, okay, today I'll go and join this other group, then I'll go and join this other group. It's like, if you're in this group of people, then that's your group. Then if you leave and go to this, it's just like, you know that when this person releases their movie, these are the kind of people you see. When this person releases their movie, the kind of people you see. And it's not like I can go to this side, go to this side, go to this side. Anyway, what I'm just trying to say is, looking at the bright side, this unity thing and forming one association
Yeah,
is the good
like I
side.
like the idea of giving Cameroon movie industry one identity.
Yeah, but
Yes,
the downside is also the French side just swallowing the English side, and
exactly.
yeah, that's the downside of
So the
it too.
dominant side with the most population and the most exposure, like access to media and the big dogs, who drown out the smaller guy, and that's definitely the English entertainment side.
Yeah, that's one fear. Yeah, but for me too, like I'm really conflicted about this whole thing. Honestly, it's like,
It has the pros and the cons of it, but to
yeah.
me, the negative outweigh the positive. To me, what I'm saying, it has positives in it, but the negative part of it outweighs the positive.
There's somebody who
They
was
should have just
saying
left it
like
alone.
there's somebody who was saying that the government passes bills all the time and forgets that put those rules. So people should just let
The
the
same
ego
way
die down.
there's a rule for what's this thing? Intellectual property. Do you know Cameroon has that kind of a law?
What does that mean? I don't even know
Intellectual
about it. What does it
property,
mean?
everywhere in the world they have it. It's like your intellectual property is something you came up with from your mind. Like you create a song, you write a song, you record a song, you write a movie, Okay, you have a word, a lyrics that somebody used in their song. That's word is your intellectual property. It came from your brain. That's intellectual property. There's a law in Cameroon governing protecting intellectual property. So, but nobody knows that. But they keep saying Cameroon government should come up with droit d'auteur, all these things. It exists already. It's just that most people taking part in the industry are not aware that it exists and they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to maximize it. It
Yeah.
exists in Cameroon. So most of the time when I see guys complain or running to the government asking for things that are already there, but they cannot use it. So the government will use it, will show you how to use it the way he feel like it's convenient to him. That will benefit him. That's exactly what this thing is all about.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I was watching NAFSA TV the other day, and this guy was talking about he had an injury basically, and he had to stop work, and basically he had the injury while on the job. I think you know Neglect, who just had a collaboration with Blanche Bailey. Yeah. So basically this other guy who was there was telling him like, as since you had the injury on the job, you had to be paid. Because part of your salary goes to social insurance, and social
Yeah.
insurance needs to give you money because you had
The
an injury
company he
on the
was
job.
working for, is it registered?
Yeah, I think so. He worked for engineering. I don't know. Yeah, but I think his company was registered. He's
Yeah,
an engineer.
so he needs
Yeah,
to be paid. Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
So
Yeah.
basically, I'm just like what I'm stating that is because there are certain laws in the Cameroonian system which many Cameroonians are not aware of, and sometimes
Sometimes you
laws
can
which
be
even
aware of it,
benefit
but you
you.
get to a point where you meet somebody in power that make that law look invalid. Yeah, you just get to meet somebody in power and they just use man no man and kill your claim or kill your case. That's how Cameroon is. So all these laws exist on paper, but practically they are being ignored. Like
Yeah.
so many things in Cameroon, they exist on paper, but practically they are ignored.
So let's also hope this will be ignored too. Let's just hope this will be ignored.
No, the reason I feel so strong about this thing is because the Cameroon government doesn't ignore things that concern him making more money. And this industry, exactly what he has said, can it concerns him making more money, or he can even privatize the entertainment industry if it has just one name. If it belongs to the Cameroon government, he can privatize it.
Okay.
Do you know that?
I'm waiting for you to expatiate.
No. Do you know if the Cameroon entertainment industry, that is an industry, that is a company, if it is owned and governed by the state, the Cameroon government, do you know they can privatize it?
I don't know what that means. How you can
Privatize
prioritize the whole industry.
Privatize mean, okay, like Sonara. Yeah.
That's a company.
That's a company, but that's why I'm saying an industry controlled by the government. It means the government owns that industry.
But all industries in Cameroon, like Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of this, they're all government controlled
Exactly.
industries, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
So if they want a foreign body to take part of, to control or take charge of all those sectors, they can. If they want to let them take control of it, they can. If they have a good
yeah.
deal from those guys, that okay, just let us take control of it and we'll pay you this and this. Your tax will be this, or we'll be paying you this. The same way they did with Eneo. Eneo was 8 years, so Eneo was over the like, I don't know, owned by France, but now Eneo came. I think Eneo is from England. It came with a better deal, and they said, France, I think you wait there. They switch it to Eneo. That's how it is. Like when the government owns something like that, if they come with a great deal and say, this is your entertainment industry, why don't you hand it over to us and we'll maximize the best profit out of it and we'll be giving you guys this commission and this percentage, but you own part of it and we'll own part of it. That's privatizing it. So
Yeah.
and the person owning the bigger share in it makes the rules. So affect the guys working in it.
Okay, now my question to you is, let's take an example of an artist of, let me say, a Jovi, right?
Yep, yep.
He has his label. How is the government? Let me say, if the government privatizes the industry, like you
Industry, yep,
say,
yep,
it sells it to a foreign company,
yeah,
which goes against their rule.
yeah.
But yeah, how will it impact Jovi?
Okay, based on that bill you've said, they said if they want to organize something like a tour, like Jovi who owns his record label, when he releases album, he needs to submit his album to them. They will sanction it. If the foreign company sees things and they said, okay, let's just say the company is from France. Let's just say there's a song in there that say tout au Cameroun a été pris par les Français. You think those guys will let that song go out? They will not. That's just one part of it, that they have already destroyed their art and they're already hindering his progress. Okay, he doesn't do any. Okay, forget about that part. There's no song in it talking about France eating up everything in Cameroon. Before he organized a show, he needs to submit, like say he wants to organize the show and get approval from the person governing that organization, which is the government right now. But if they have privatized it and it's somebody outside having the bigger share that wants to control it, when he sends it to them, they'll say, okay, tu sais, Jovi, ton conseil, c'est, on veut que tu amènes quelqu'un comme Booba en France pour qu'il il fait un spectacle ici, pour que, they'll want you to include somebody from there. They own it and they want to market something that belongs to them in it because they own it. They have privatized it. They make the rules. And for them to approve that rule, you have to include one of the person they propose to you in it. You have no choice but to approve it. So they're already disrupting everything that happens in that industry.
I guess it. Yeah, but the thing is, right now it's true. Maybe when the things start happening, it might be too late to speak up. But
Yeah.
right
And
now, I
right
just
now is
feel
the
like
best time to talk about it.
yeah, but also my issue is right now. I just feel like we might be worrying too much. We might be worrying, then the government turns to not even put all these things in place, then things just go back to normal, everything is just as it was. that's
I
that's that's
understand.
one thought
Yeah, it
process.
is
But
sometimes.
and
It is something
also
like that.
my
Well,
other question is, yeah.
yeah, I always say that people are scared of what they don't understand. We can still just be
Yeah,
overreacting because we don't understand yet, and it's
exactly,
something new. And
exactly.
we can be right. It's always good to question things you don't
Yeah,
understand, to find out, to know more.
true. That's so true. That's so true. That's why I said we might keep quiet. Then when it's too late, then we want to speak up when the thing has started happening. But now my
Exactly.
other thing is, as we speak, do we believe that as we are speaking now, everybody is speaking, all social media groups speak, would it change the government's law? Do we think our voices can change that law that the government has put in place? Because
No,
honestly, I don't
no.
like
Our
I don't like
actions can
wasting my
change it.
energy.
No, our
Okay.
actions can change it. Because talking like this will not change anything. I almost cursed there, but will not change anything. But our actions can. Ignoring the law and doing what we have been doing, that will change the law. They will have no rule. They will have no reason but to conform like to. But if we ignore it and continue doing what we are doing, the government will have no choice but to either modify it or discard it. If they see that that thing is not being affected or being effective.
Okay. So you're saying the solution is to ignore what the government has said and just keep on doing what we're doing,
Yeah,
right? That's what
yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
But now my concern to with
Or
that
my
is,
solution is you should pick the parts in it that you feel like are positive. Use them. But the ones you feel like if you implement or follow them will drain or destroy the industry, ignore them.
okay. Now my question to you is, you feel like, for example, we say, okay, we're ignoring. An artist says, I'm ignoring. I'm going to have my show. The government has said, put this person in place. Let me first read what Ezra has said before I go. It's clear things will go back when they find out artists are not involved in politics as they are thinking now. Believe me, it got to do with the Anglo crisis. I also strongly believe that, because
So
honestly, things are really.
when you say they are not involved in politics, what do you mean?
Oh yeah. So anyway, what I'm saying, what I believe is the government is putting all these laws because they are panicking. The other day we saw these pictures of how they call these their cars. This, how
Amocas.
they call this, armor cars, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, They have bought like five like that all over Yaoundé. They are panicking. We'd never thought the crisis would get to Yaoundé, but three explosions and now everybody is on their toes. Yeah. So basically, I feel like that's what's prompting all of these laws. They are trying to see how they can squash all the sponsorships of all this I don't know. I don't want to call any names. Yeah, but yeah, so I think they're just trying to find a solution out of that. Now, my question was, okay, for example, let me use let me not use Jovi again. Let me use Stanley Eno. Stanley Eno says, "I want to ignore this law. I want to have my concert." Right? He goes ahead, plans his concert, doesn't care about what the minister is saying, right? And he starts his concert. And then the next thing, the minister sends police people to beat people, they harass people, throw tear gas, and drive everybody from the gathering,
So at that point, are they helping the
which is
industry?
possible.
Oh wait, at that point, are they helping the industry or destroying it?
They don't care. Like we have,
No,
there's
that's what
nothing
I'm
that we
saying.
can.
At that point, are they
Yeah,
helping the industry or destroying it?
probably
No, up to
destroying
you.
it.
Are they helping or
Probably
destroying?
destroying
They
it.
are not like
Destroying.
probably they are destroying
Yeah.
it if that
So I'm
happens.
just saying that. Yeah, I'm just saying that. One thing we should first put in, we should first make clear is that they don't care about that. They don't care. So we should first, when we are acting, we should act from that point of view. For example, if you're in the house with your parents and you say you're made me angry, I'm not going to eat. Okay, your mom might care and say, okay, let's discuss about this. Let's talk about this,
So now you get
and then
my
you
point
probably
when
reach a
I said. Now
solution.
you get my point
But
when I said these
yeah.
guys are openly showing that they don't care. Like they are not even
Mm-hmm.
pretending or hiding it. They are openly showing that they don't care.
Yeah, but I get that. I get that, and we really know that. But what I'm saying is, we need to act from that state of mind, right?
Yeah.
If you're acting, there's a different way you act when you're dealing with somebody who cares about your success, and there's a way you act when you're dealing with somebody who doesn't care about your success, right?
Mm.
So for me, just blatantly ignoring might lead to some very, very, very not good repercussions. People even losing their lives, your fans losing their lives, it can happen.
You see, Lapiro said this shit, and they killed him, and it's happening now live.
Yeah.
Lapiro is a prophet. Lapiro is a Bob Marley of Cameroon.
Mm,
Yeah, Lapiro
yeah.
said all these things. Everything happening right now, Lapiro said it.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So Ezra says they talk of foreign aid to sponsor war, believe me. Yeah, so I think the issue is like foreign aid coming disguised as we want to sponsor an
so
artist, but
why did they
instead
have
it
to pass
proves.
that bill out to target, especially the entertainment industry?
I also think we have discussed about this previously, how the impact entertainment industry can have on the minds of people. Like up to today, people who
That's
sang
why they are trying
about.
to prevent them from doing art that talks about politics in Cameroon.
Exactly,
They are
exactly,
not
because
supposed to do
it
that.
can really.
You have somebody has to say when he's unsatisfied with the way you're treating them.
That's true.
So why are you
That's
trying to
true.
censor them? That's censoring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, and that's sad for me. It's a sad situation, but all I'm trying to say is we just need to look for a way forward. We need to look for a way forward, and
That's what
I
Cameroonians
don't
have been
know.
doing for as long as I can remember.
But I'm saying that what's the alternative? What's the alternative?
The only alternative is to ignore it. Pick the parts of it that makes sense, like having
Yeah.
one name, one industry, one identity.
Yes.
That part makes bad sense. But
Yeah.
the rest of it, that say you should get funds just like if you want to release a project you should submit it. If the government approves it, then you do the project. If you want to organize a concert, you submit it, the government approves, then you can hold a concert. Or if
Mm.
you want, hey, all that should just slow down. It destroys art.
Mm.
Yeah, because there will be so many
Yeah.
ideas added onto your art. There will be so many guys pruning your art, like trimming some of the ideas out, and your art will not be your art by the time you get the
Mm.
final product. So that
Mm-hmm.
will no longer be your art. You'll just be hmm, hmm,
Yeah.
something just shot with a camera or something just recorded on a mic.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I remember doing an episode where we're talking about artists becoming more social engaged and talking about the things happening in our society, right? You're unconscious, or we're talking about that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
Did we have that conversation of artists becoming more engaged and speaking up about issues happening in the community? Or was it with somebody else I had that conversation with? I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, so I'm just saying, like, I don't know, it might be a contrast or some other platform where we're
Yeah.
talking about artists becoming more engaged in what's happening in the community. And yeah, that's how legends are made, because it's not just about the club bangers, but people remember for years and years, people who were able to speak up about wrong things happening,
Yeah,
and
that's
artists need to be
why
doing
I
more
will
of
still
that.
keep
But
going back
this
to Lapiro.
yeah, but this laws is basically saying, you know what, don't talk about all of that. But there are some other things which artists can talk about, right? Like maybe rape. I heard another of recent. There's this man who burned his wife again, so artists could also speak up about that. I'm trying to look at the bright side. Yeah, I'm trying to look at it.
But that's not the only problem happening in the country. Art is supposed
Yeah,
to
it's
expose
true.
every problem
It's
happening in the
true.
country, not just
It's
rape,
true.
not just
I
child molestation, not just
am I'm so for
injustice
that. I'm
too.
so for that. I'm so for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so for
So
that. And if an artist does that, I'll be like, you know what, this is it. Yeah, you have done something awesome. But it is what it is, right? They have put forward the law, and it's true. You say Cameroonians have just been looking for a way forward for long, but I don't know. I'm just like, what's the alternative? What is the alternative? Ignoring, and yeah, it's true, we can ignore, but I will still say this: fingers crossed, this law will just be a law that will be forgotten with time, as many laws have been. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was hearing some kind of laws that in the country, and I was like, these kind of things exist. As a woman, you don't have the right to own land in Cameroon. I don't even know if it's still put in place, but either you sign like co-ownership with a man or something. So there are all those kind of laws in
it
Cameroon.
still
Yeah,
exists.
yeah.
There's
Apparently, like he has.
so many women online in Cameroon.
Yeah, but I think it's the thing is, you need to sign co-ownership with a man, and also as a woman, you cannot bail out. Let me say if your son has been locked up, you cannot bail your son out. Yeah, it must be a man who has bailed your son out. Yeah. So that one, I know that one firsthand, because like my brother has had to go and bail somebody out because his mother could not, and all that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just saying there are some laws that still exist in Cameroon, and we are like, hmm, still exist. But hopefully with time it's going to be forgotten. That's my hope.
Work
It's all right. It says
machine.
the government, yeah, what machines in the building. The government at the same time doesn't have what it takes to control artists' activities, except banning everything. Yeah, and more artists needed in politics. More artists needed in politics, but they said artists should not talk about politics. Maybe if the minister was an artist before becoming a minister,
He
he would
would
have known
understand.
the better. Yeah, he would have understood. The same thing we're saying about scientists becoming artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we have artists who are people in power, then we are going to have better laws made, which can favor the arts better. Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully we get that someday. And Teaka is all like contrast Moli contra. He's just for
Hashtag
you all the
contrast
way.
Molly. Hashtag contrast
After
Molly.
contrast Moli,
I don't do
he's
it.
like, yeah,
I'm not running for office.
like Deli B all the way. Deli
I'm not running for
Deli B
office.
for president.
Ah, I don't like politics, by the way. I don't want
Ah.
to have anything in life to do with politics.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
Grew up
yeah,
in
yeah.
politics. So
Yeah. For me,
yeah.
politics is just a whole. It's just I
It's
don't
a
know.
game. It's a
Yeah,
charade.
it's a charade. That's the word. That's the
Yeah.
word. It's like you come into politics, you can have all these your ideals, but as you get into that, you need to start changing your ideas in order to get the votes, to get the support. You need to start changing all that. So you might come with the
Uh,
best intentions,
Work machine
but
say more artists needed in politics. Get into politics.
yeah,
Get into what? Parliaments, like many
parliament.
Nigerian actors have done.
Yeah, there's more Elliot and the rest.
In Cameroon, you get there, they'll just look at you like, see the one. Anyway, nobody knows, but I just believe somebody like. I don't see any Cameroon artist who can get into politics and get the full support.
support of who? Of the politicians or of the
Yeah,
people?
because in politics you need something they call cosign. Though it's not actually
Mm,
cosign, it has a name. Politics has a name for it. It's
mm,
I don't know. You guys watching, if you have a name for it, you tell me, because it's not cosign.
mm,
Like another politician backing you, like giving you their validation. It's very difficult
mm,
for an artist who comes into politics to get such a person. You know.
mm, okay, I don't know about that. I'm totally confused. I don't even have any say about this stuff. Yeah, Tiaka, it's a confusing matter, honestly. For me, it's really confusing because I'm like on the other side, I can see the gem in some of the things which they are saying, but on the other side, I'm like, you know what, this might really inhibit the growth. What machine says, or like we see top politicians working with
What machine?
artists
What you're
because
saying
of the
right now?
influence they have in
What you're
Cameroon,
saying
or
right
artists
now
don't
is
have that
completely
influence.
contrast from this bill and this thing we are talking about. We get your point. I get your point though.
Mm,
But that is when they are running for office. Okay, they
mm,
use artists because these guys are directly connected or linked to the mind of the public. Because when a musician say, "I like that politician," you see their fans will flock towards that person. I understand
mm,
what you're saying. Okay, but in this case, that case doesn't apply here. We are talking about we are talking about how, okay, not to let politic or the government influence how art is being created, to influence
mm,
how we consume art or how it grows, okay. But here you are using politic as a you are using art or music or artists as a political strategy, as a
mm,
campaign strategy.
mm.
That's what you mean here. So mm-mm.
Yeah, but also if a politician knows that an artist has certain influence over the people, he will not want to do certain things to offend certain artists because he knows that if
Some
they
of them
speak
don't
up,
care. Some of them just need those guys when they need them because they believe those guys have the influence to give them the result they need at that point. Most politicians don't care.
so you think if a politician annoys an artist and puts a certain law which the artist doesn't favor, when it comes time for campaign, the politician can still use that artist for his campaign?
No.
Okay, so that's it for me. I'm like, it all
He'll
starts
use
from the
somebody
laws you
else.
put in
No,
place.
he'll use another artist. Like there are so many artists. Like,
Yeah, but that's
but they
what
don't
that's what
care.
uh
They
but
just
that's what
need
a
you.
lot of people are,
They
that's
just
what a lot of
need
people
you
are
when they believe they
saying.
can gain something from you. That's just how politicians are.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's what a lot of people are saying. Artists need to stick together at this point in time. If all artists are on board that this is wrong, you put a law which is not correct, then you cannot go to any artist when it comes time for your campaign because all of the artists are against the law which you put in place. Either you change the law or we are not for you.
For
That's
example,
if
Trump
all artists
Trump
are on the
used
same
Adele's song
point.
on his campaign. Adele sued him and told him to stop using her songs. Trump used
Exactly.
Snoop Dogg song. Snoop Dogg said, "Hey, my
Mm-hmm.
nigga, don't use my shit, or else you talk to
Yeah.
police." He
Oh,
stopped it, and he kept switching up because there are so many artists. He'll keep jumping to this wagon, to this one, and he'll find one that will just say, "You know what, man, just use the shit."
yeah, it's like all of them on the same page. Like I remember I was watching this podcast and somebody was like, "It's very scary to be in Hollywood and be a Trump supporter. It's so scary. You
Yeah, you're
cannot be in
destroying your
Hollywood.
business if you're a
You,
movie maker.
yeah,
No studio wants
nobody's
to hire
giving
you.
you. Yeah,
Yeah, you see, but
nobody's giving you any
but
opportunity. Yeah.
but the right will favor you. Where the money
Mm,
is will favor you. Like the billionaires, the top businesses, like you will not get the sponsor from the bigger studios, but you get the sponsor from somebody who own like a power company.
mm,
You see, you get it from somebody who own like an oil company. So the money is still there,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
influence is still there, and the
yeah, but
major
you get.
and
Yeah.
the consumers, the majority of people, like people don't support Trump in public, but they support him
Mm,
privately. That's just a fact.
mm, mm,
So when you do all those kind of things, especially movies in this streaming era, if you do that and you get a sponsor from these guys, these leftists who are so not afraid to sponsor you, when they do
mm.
it and you put that movie out online on any streaming platform, those guys who support Trump privately will stream that movie and sponsor you and you make more money.
Yeah.
Mind you, majority of population in America, the majority is white. I don't mean the
Mm,
majority is the minorities combined are more than the
mm,
whites, but
mm,
the highest race, the most populated race is white It can be 40%, and let's just say 60 is divided to the rest of the minorities. So if you do that, you're still making money. You
Yeah, I
get the
get it.
point? Yeah. So I don't see. So all this thing is just based on perspective. Your moral what? What's the word?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we need to remember Trump did not get the majority vote.
Exactly. But how
So
did he win? Do you know how he won?
yeah, electoral college or whatever. Up to now, I still find that hard to understand.
No. Hey, he did not get the majority vote, which means he did not get 60 out of 100. But he probably got 30 out of 100. While the rest went to 20, 40, 10 to the other guys. So that's less out of. They explained it in Just Watch. There's a show called um what's the Hassan Minaj show?
On
Fuck.
Netflix,
Yeah. He explained
Patriot
it.
Act.
Yeah, Patriot
Patriot
Act.
Act.
That's how
I
Trump won.
watched it.
So yeah, he's not necessarily, he does not need to have 60% to win or 50% to win. If he has just 20 and everybody is divided and just that 20 stick with him, all those guys divided will share their votes to all those small people, and the majority will just stick with him and he will win.
Yeah.
Americans vote for
Okay.
the Americans vote against the person they hate. You get it? So that's how Trump won. So don't say Trump never had the majority, because when you calculate the majority, you see that that majority. Somebody will say, "I hate Trump, but Hillary, I don't like her too. I'll just go with Trump." Then you see the next person
Yeah.
say, "I hate Trump and Hillary, but I will not vote me because I don't like both of them." So the vote now will go down, or they'll just say during the primary they'll say, "I'll go me for Bernie Sanders," or say, "I'll go me for Kamala Harrison." That's just how the vote spread. But the leftists, those left side, those guys, they will stick to the person. You know, the thing with Republicans is because even though they don't agree on policies, on things, but they both agree on the party. Whoever wins or whoever is the person that the party goes for, they'll just say, nevertheless, they'll just vote for the person. But
Yeah.
Republicans are so divided. If the person who won is not the person they were rooting for during the primaries up to that main stage, they will not vote. So that's how stupid they are. You see?
Okay.
Yeah. So they should not.
Okay.
Trump will still win this time around, and that's a fact.
Uh,
That's a fact.
anyway.
Because the country is still divided, and who is he going against? Joe fucking Biden, and everybody hates him. So, do you think Joe can win Trump? Do you know how Joe got to that point? Because Joe's only proof is I've beaten Trump on every stage of this race. That's just that I've beaten him like during votes and all that stuff. Hell, I don't even know how we got into American politics, but the point is,
Right. Like,
let's go back.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to Cameroon. Like I said, and Ezeroy and the politic brought us to all the stage, but Ezeroy, yeah, artists like they need to talk about politics, but working with politicians, nah, this your point has no.
Okay, let me see. What machine is saying? No, sorry.
It's work
Teaka says,
machine.
I am totally confused. I don't even have anyone. Okay. Or like we say, top politicians working with artists because
Yeah,
of the
that's what
influence
brought
they
us to
have in the
this
country.
American
Yeah,
politician.
okay. Yeah, then he goes on to say they don't have the numbers behind them and don't have economic influence. Politics is pushed by economics. And then Teaka says, but as Ita said, if they all ignore it and there is loss of life, then that will be so bad. And then Work Machine says, politics will always get into everything. So the sooner you get into it to protect your interests as artists, the better. There are various levels of politics, not just partisan. So it's not just
So work,
the
no.
Republican versus the Democrats or
So
the
work machine,
CPDM versus the whatever.
you are okay. Let's just come out clean. So you are telling these guys to sell out.
Stella, what does that mean? It's not
Read it
selling
again.
out.
No, read it again.
Politics will always get into everything. So the sooner you get into it, protect your interests as
Boom,
artists, the better.
boom.
Yeah, protect your interest, as in protect my interest. Let it not pass this kind of bills which go against my interest.
No,
So selling out,
protecting
what's
your
the selling
interest.
out?
Selling out means you're selling out is when somebody does something that is not right to protect his interest. That's selling out.
No, but I'm saying what work machine is saying is you as an artist, you can get in to politics and do the right thing. Protect your interest as an artist, and not just you
Yeah.
alone, but all the artists. So it's not
Okay.
necessarily selling out, it's not getting in and doing the wrong thing,
Because
getting in and doing the
my own
right
point
thing.
where
Yeah.
I read it was like getting in in bed. In bed, I don't mean
Mm,
like in bed, but working with
mm,
politicians to
mm.
secure your own interests, like to protect your interests, so that if they are doing anything, they know, okay, if we are killing everybody, we'll spare Mr. X and his family.
No, I don't think that's where he's coming from. He's coming from, if they're about to pass this kind of bill before it even gets out there, you as an artist, if you're already in the place where
In
they
the
are having
hood.
these kind of discussions, you can stop
Yeah.
it before it gets out there. It gets, yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think that might be it. That might be the strategy.
Yep.
Because like Teaka is saying, you ignore it, it gets to a stage, you lose your people lost their lives, and
Hmm.
you're like, was it worth it? Was it worth me having this concert and disobeying what the law said? Was it really worth it? People losing their lives. It might be on your conscience for life. No. We are all selling out. It is a capitalist world. Okay, I guess what she was saying, should sell out.
Exactly. Boom.
Oh, trying to defend you, but it's
Boom.
like, no,
Chop
let's
knuckle,
sell
chop
out.
knuckle, chop knuckle. At least you came out clean. Chop knuckle.
Oh my god. Okay.
Boom.
I guess that's what he's saying.
You see? You see?
anyway, anyway, yeah. So but I think we have exhausted this topic. Or is
Yeah.
that is
This
that are there some
topic
other
can
things you
never
want to
be
say?
exhausted.
I don't know.
But I think
But
we'll just
we
leave it
know
here. And
we
we
have
have
not
any
even finished reading the whole bill.
just finishing there we call this episode for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean interest as in an artist. Yeah, basically your interest as an artist. Let me look for that article again. I closed it. Where am I? Okay, let me read the last point. Right, Article 25. Each federation must inform the minister responsible for culture of the holding of cultural events of national or international
Concert.
scope, as
Boom.
well as method of their organization. Yeah, that's where we ended.
Hmm.
The organization of international event by the federation is subject to the prior authorization of the minister responsible for culture. So if you want to go and organize an event in the USA or in Nigeria, they have to authorize here in Cameroon. I guess that's what it's saying, right?
Bullshit.
So
You see why I
then
hate that thing?
article
No, that thing,
article
that
20.
article is trash.
Let me continue reading. We're not done. Article 26. It says that, why you come here? Okay, it says the authorization of the federation concerned is required for the organization by an artistic and cultural association or any natural or legal person, an event or a cultural event in which artistic and cultural association affiliated to it participate. So if you're, let me say, somebody belongs to, I don't know what associations they'll be calling the upcoming associations after these ones have been cancelled. Let me just see call CFI, and then you want to go and take part in a movie or in an occasion. If that occasion is not accepted by the government, you're not allowed to. Yeah. So all your members, before they can take part in any concert or whatever, it must be legal and accepted by the government. Then it says any affiliated artistic and cultural association participating in a cultural event which has not received the authorization of the federation of which it is a member is liable to the disciplinary sanctions provided by the internal rules of the federation.
Wait, I like a point that I just heard. If it is a member, because so it's not obligatory that you have to join, right?
Yeah, you can be an independent person.
Boom. So we found out outlet. That's the way out. Don't join that shit. Boom. Ignore it.
Yeah, but although I'm looking at something, let me look at something above which says, I think there was a point we said if you have
All
to
have to be
organize like a
dissolved.
concert, yeah, and also if you have to organize a concert, it has to be sanctioned by the ministry, right? It has to be allowed by the ministry, and it's going to pass through your association. So if you're an artist and you don't belong to an association, how are you going to get your concert approved? You see what I'm saying? So it's you artists to the association to the ministry. So that's the association is like the middleman.
Hey man, I trust these guys. Online
Anyway, a lot of
music.
people were also saying that a lot of people, I remember in the group, a lot of people were like they'll be asking for money from artists. So the issue
It,
too, a lot of artists are
they
raising is
must be
like,
asking. That's how
yeah,
Cameroon
the
is.
whole bribery thing of,
Yes.
give
For
us
your own concert
something.
to be approved first, you have to give them a certain percentage of the wage, or you have to pay them a certain amount of money. For your movies to be screened faster, to give you license or permission to produce a movie, you have to pay them to fast forward the process. And that's how Cameroon is. That's why this whole thing is
Mm,
upsetting.
mm,
For you guys just thinking about the bright side, that's what I'm thinking because I know how Cameroon operates. Hell,
mm,
listen, I've been in, or I'm from that part where you guys call the upper echelon of the Cameroon government. I know how they work.
mm,
I've seen it. That's why I hate
mm.
politics, because I've been there. I've been in that circle.
Mm.
Yeah, so I've observed it from the inside. So I hate it when I
Yeah.
see all these bills like this. I just know, okay, they just found another vulnerable thing to clinch to put their claws in.
Mm,
That's why when you guys are just saying they are doing this thing because they are trying to prevent sponsors of wars and riots and all those things, they are using that. Yes, that is a possibility, but they are also using that as a factor to make everybody see like, okay, they have a point for doing this thing because they want to prevent this. When they also have an agenda, that's also an agenda.
mm.
They can be right and they
Yeah.
can be wrong, but that's a possibility that, yeah, they want to prevent wars, but in the course of preventing that, it will give room for so many things like that to happen.
Mm. What machine saying you opening for thief?
Exactly.
Yeah, I can say no be lie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The Ministry of Culture, they need to get their own share of the cake now. They're like, only police people are collecting their 500. They're
Yeah.
like, we
Say
need to
police
find
people,
an out.
what means the police people hold this law when I go wash on. They just see you guys holding a camera to come. Oh, come.
Yes.
Who say you permit? Okay. Before when I shoot for all man jogi 10k for each hit. Each
Hey,
hit na 5,000.
yeah.
Ha! Le pays va mal. Cameroon.
Hey, because I tell you, even in villages, police go use chop money.
They just see you
God.
with a smartphone trying to take a picture of somebody. Oh, wait. You take permission for self producer, can't be one producer.
Mm.
Oh, like Cameroon, vous êtes more, eh? Let me tell you guys, you're finished.
Oh, you say like Cameroonais.
Je suis
You're
pas au
not. You're
Cameroun
not part of
encore.
us.
Je suis pas là-bas. Things I'm doing right now.
Ah.
Things I'm doing right now. I don't see any way that can be sanctioned or syndicate. Maybe they can ban that. I don't see any way Cameroon can ban me. That's why I have the freedom to say what I want to say.
Yeah. They will start mounting control before we get into concerts. Yeah. Before
Yep.
the concert even starts, the control is already there. Have you?
So now you guys see my point. Yeah.
Anyway, all these things. Then again, I will say this. We are just still saying, okay, this might
I
happen.
like
This
the
might
idea
happen.
of Cameroon industry having one identity. I give them that.
Yeah.
But every rule put in place is a double-edged sword. It gives them room to
Mm-hmm.
steal and monopolize the system. Finish.
Mm.
That's the only thing I can
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, and also like we might just be worrying. Let's just keep fingers crossed that we are just worrying in
No,
vain.
that's what some people said. We may be overreacting. This guy can be a good person. Oh, there when they want to. By the time they opened their eyes, everything was gone.
I still want to be positive. I still want to be optimistic
Continue.
and hope for the best.
Continue. It's
And
always
hope
good.
for the best.
No, it's always good to
Yeah.
be on guard.
Yeah,
Some
like
talk the way they say
you
when
hope for the
snake.
best but prepare for the worst.
No, some talk they say when snake bite you, next time you see this at you run.
Okay.
So because of everything that has been happening in Cameroon right now, you guys have not only been bitten by snake but swallowed by python and spat out. So right now,
Mm.
if you even see a cockroach, buy a spray and kill it. Okay, even if you see a wall gecko, Kill it. It doesn't have to be a lizard.
Mm,
Okay? Kill it and then ask me, how did it get inside this house? How many of them are in this house? Yeah, that's how you have to react now.
mm,
Yes.
yeah. One machine says no face mask and you carry camera. Motif 10K. You're not wearing face mask and you're holding a camera. Ooh. I said,
100K, not only 10K.
oh, what?
Okay, so they come say
I instead see a foundation to a mature industry.
industry.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It
it might
can
also be.
be. That's what we are saying. It can be. We are not just saying it's negative, but we are saying it is giving room for all the fuck shit. Of course, again, all the craziness that has been happening in the industry, in the Cameroon, in Cameroon in general. I don't want to say the government. I don't want to say anything because the whole system is messed up.
Yeah.
Happening in Cameroon to continue happening or to bleed or to sink itself into the entertainment industry. It
Mm-hmm.
gives room for that to happen. That's what we are talking about here. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What I wanted to say concerning Ezoroy's point is, other industries in Cameroon have been functioning this way with all these restrictions and other things. Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Forestry, all those other industries.
Yeah.
The entertainment industry has been the one where there's not been
Free
any
of
clear
all that.
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying we have been saying that the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of whatever, they have a more structured kind of industry, and we think
Ministry
the
of
entertainment
Agriculture is
industry
not even.
needs that.
Ministry of Agriculture is one of the most messed up ministries in
Um,
Cameroon.
Yeah, true, but I'm just saying they have a structure governing the whole association. They have a delegate, they have a whatever, they have offices. You know that if I'm working under the ministry, I have this my office where I'm sitting there, and this is things for the ministry and all those stuff. So I'm just saying it might also be a start for it might also be building this foundation for all
How
these
many people? Okay.
well
How many
structured
guys
things.
make it in that Ministry of Agriculture? How many guys make their way into it and succeed in it? How many? It has a
Oh, so
gate. It
many.
has a safeguard. It has a
Yeah, but
level
some
where when you get to this point, you're prevented to get to the next point. Like it has a safeguard every
yeah,
step you go. So what I'm saying
yeah,
is,
I get that.
entertainment industry doesn't need any of those guards. Your level of work and hard work you put in is the thing that needs to propagate you to the next level. It's not somebody that has to determine the level you go to.
No, but what why my point is, with the entertainment industry, there has been this complaint of the whole copyright issues, people not getting
There's
their
already a
their
law
dues.
in Cameroon like that, and even minus that, there are companies already that license your song internationally. That even in
Yeah,
Cameroon
so
it takes effect.
yeah, but what I'm saying is a lot of artists are complaining that the law is not really being put into place. There are no structures really governing the entertainment laws in Cameroon. So I'm saying that this might be a foundation for those laws we put in place that will help govern those things, so artists will get better pay,
That's art,
better
intellectual
pay,
property. Okay,
and
take for example, that law also took
yeah.
part in Cameroon. The law, it's sure that Cameroon government know the law exists, but they implement it and they use it where they see like it comes from somebody they value a lot. Like I believe that thing has happened when one company or somebody copied somebody else's company product or something like a logo or I think a something. And there have been a case in Cameroon concerning those two companies. I just forgot about it, but I know that law has taken effect at one point in Cameroon. I recall, but the two companies involved are forgotten. But my point is, the government can only implement that law when they see that the two people fighting on that law have a statue in the country or in the government. That law exists. It's not like it doesn't exist and they don't use it and there are no bodies that govern that law or implement it. They exist. But you need to have somebody in a position that has some leverage in the government for that law to take effect. For them to even
Okay.
regard considering implementing that law on your case. Because there has been a company in Cameroon that copied another company's brand, or I think it was a product or something like that, and that case went to court.
Okay.
So it exists in Cameroon, and that is intellectual property. It goes with music, art. That's your intellectual property.
Okay. Let me see. Where should I start reading from? So I believe that even if artists agree to this, they will find strategies to get back their money. Then Ezra says, no more performing for change because na your partenaire. Mm, no more performing for change. Deaka says an upcoming artist might be discouraged to even move on. And one machine says, yeah, it can be a good law. Cameroon has the best laws, but the worst in application of the law.
Yeah,
True.
and those laws
Uh,
apply based on the person coming forward with a case that affects them, that law affects them. They, it depends on the person coming forward.
okay. One machine says, Molly, you did talk for government, so now eta they go catch am yo. Then he goes on to say her crime will be accomplice in insightful talking online. I dare you. Ha. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So like you said, right? This topic is we cannot really exhaust it because there's so much to say. There are so many layers to this topic. But we have been going for 1 hour 30 minutes, and I would lie if
God
I say
damn.
I'm not tired of talking. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if there is cause for us to bring up this topic one more time, then we
Yeah, we
will.
will.
But yeah, we will talk about it. But for today, I think we're going to end it here right now. So, Delby, do you have anything to say before we go?
Nope. All I'm saying is it's a great idea. I've already said that it's a great idea that the
Mm,
Cameroon industry should have one identity. But with all the rules these guys are putting in place, it gives an opening for the government to monopolize the
mm,
industry. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
based on the experience on other parts of the country, that other sectors of the country and what is happening there and how it operates, if these rules are to be followed, the same thing will happen to the entertainment industry.
Mm, yeah. Okay. So, and for me, I am still my point of view is let's be optimistic, and sometimes the
With
things we really
Cameroon,
worry about.
with Cameroon, when
Up,
you're optimistic, you become too comfortable to afford, and you let so many things slide that are not supposed to happen. That's what I've
okay.
noticed and observed in Cameroon.
Okay, so but my point is, you can still be prepared for the worst, but still hope for the best. So I am hoping for the best. I think I'm allowed to be hopeful, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
hope
hoping
for
for
the
the
best.
best, but if the worst comes, I think we are all getting prepared for that. And this conversation has been geared towards preparing our state of mind that, this might happen, and if this happens, this is the way you have to act and all
Work
that.
machines in a
Yeah.
run, she want run. Okay, from that time.
Oh, machine, I'm scared. My house is just here. Anyway, yeah.
Ah, la, la.
Anyway, yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is, we should. It's true. All these things might happen. All the things which we fear might truly happen, but we could be optimistic and say it might not happen. They might ignore it, like most of the laws they ignore. And like I think what Machine even said, they don't apply the laws well. So hopefully they don't apply this
They
law.
apply the law very well, depending on who is affected by that law.
Yeah, so hopefully they forget about it and they don't even apply it at all. So this these
If they
are these are
see an opportunity to make more money from it, they will implement it with with scrutiny.
mm, yeah,
And that's a bad thing when it comes to Cameroon,
yeah.
because it's
Okay.
drowned. It would get drowned and swallowed by politics. So
Mm,
and corruption. So yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I was trying to make my concluding statement, which is we could still be optimistic and still be prepared, right? So
Okay.
let's stay optimistic, let's stay prepared, and maybe when we have another conversation about this topic, if we see the need to, we could
Mm.
have more more structured solutions to give, because right now we was just like, okay, can we try this, can we try this, let's try this, let's try this. And yeah, so Cameroon fit forget side where money go come. Yeah, anyway, so I guess that's it, guys. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for all your interactions, for your
Yep.
contribution.
Yep.
I think it's because of your contributions that's why this episode has become
No,
this
and because of the passion
long.
we had for this topic, that's why the episode
Yeah.
became what it was, what it is,
Mm-hmm.
because it's still going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like we always say, just share. Just one share is enough. Just
Yep.
one share. That's
And join
enough.
the WhatsApp group. If you're
Yeah, join
watching
the
us for the first
WhatsApp
time,
group.
join the WhatsApp group.
Now I'm just calculating that. Oh, the link is in the description.
Yeah, the link is in
I
the
can
description.
definitely.
Just click
Yeah,
the
just.
link and join the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
so
to keep on watching, if you haven't subscribed to Molly Town, you can subscribe there to keep on watching the next episodes that show or display or take part of Molly Town.
yeah, so Thursday and Friday we're on Molly Town, so
Yeah.
make sure you tune in over there. Yeah.
But tomorrow you
So
have enough time to brainstorm episodes that or topics that you want us to talk about in the group. Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow
yeah,
we are off.
yeah. So yeah, so tomorrow the platform is there. Join that group. That's the platform. That's where we do all the behind the scenes
Yep.
decision making.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much. Thumbs up to this video, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys next time. Bye.
Peace. Or my mouth also to go off.